All right, another spark and another build. Another day in the crucible. Today we're tackling something big, something foundational to the world of Heroria. We're going beyond individual titans or single-card mechanics.
We're going architectural. We are looking at the colossal structures that anchor reality itself within the game. They are the living emblems of the six great factions, and they literally change the rules of the board.
These are the 6 Spires of Heroria. Understanding them is the key to elevating your game from simple clashes to true strategic warfare. But before we raise these spires, let's lay the foundation. For anyone new to the game, you might be wondering how a single turn even works.
It's the heartbeat of the game. Every battle, every strategy unfolds in a steady rhythm, a 6-step pulse that's easy to learn but takes a lifetime to master.
So how do you play tools and titans? Easy. Draw your cards, charge your energy, build your field, act with your powers, clash with your titans, end your turn. 6 steps, 1 epic battle. Keep that rhythm in your head, because now we're going to see how each faction warps the very ground you fight on. Okay, so the 6 Spires. Let's start with the builders, the architects of the modern age, the faction known simply as the Titans.
Their monument is the Hammerspire of invention. Visually, it's a masterpiece of mythic industry. Imagine a surface that isn't just metal. It's a fusion of polished chrome and raw iron, with blueprint lines that pulse with a soft, blue light, tracing constellations of forgotten schematics.
And its icon, a hammer crossed with a wrench, glowing with that same cool blue energy. It's the perfect symbol. The hammer represents the raw force of creation, the power to shape the world. But the wrench, that's precision, calibration, control. It's the idea that true mastery isn't just about building, it's about building right.
Exactly. It's the fusion of strength and intellect that defines titans like the master designer, drafter, or the unyielding forge master, Ferrum. The lore says that from the first strike upon the great anvil, the Hammerspire rose, forged of blueprint thought and iron certainty. This is where the promise of progress was etched in steel.
So how does this translate to the board? How does it affect the game?
It creates zones of pure, calculated efficiency. It's all about rewarding structure. For example, in the structure zone under its influence, your tools can gain a precision trigger, letting you duplicate their effect once per cycle. It's combo building heaven.
And it's not just the structure zone. In the charge zone, your tokens can actually refund an additional weave resource when they're used. Even your cast cards, your big flashy abilities, resolve at a higher speed. The whole Spire is designed to make your engine run faster and smoother.
It even impacts the forge zone, allowing a player to activate 1 additional tool per turn, provided all their cards are aligned with the Tool Titan faction. It turns your side of the board into a perfectly synergistic, well-oiled machine.
The strategy then becomes about building your fortress around the Hammerspire's influence. But what's the risk, Tatiana? Does that make you a target?
Absolutely. It makes your strategy powerful but also predictable. You're building a perfect machine in the open. And in the world of Heroria, every perfect machine has an enemy who knows exactly which bolt to remove.
And that brings us to the opposite of perfect order. From creation, we descend into deliberate, philosophical decay. The Spire for the Rustborn.
The Huskspire of Decay, and it couldn't be more different. Imagine a pillar made of corroded bone, something ancient and diseased flaking away at the edges. Its icon is a cracked skull, weeping these vertical lines of yellow, corrosive energy. It's pure entropy given form.
The lore for this one is chilling. Born from the rot of broken oaths, the Huskspire drinks memory and bleeds mistrust. It's literally made from the failures and paranoia of fallen titans. This is the monument to Rustara's lock denial and Shivvolt's corrupting surge.
Its chosen tool is the chisel, and that's key. A chisel isn't for building, it's a tool of removal. It scars, it breaks down, it takes away permanence. It's slow, deliberate destruction. That's the Rustborn philosophy, proving that everything eventually falls apart.
And on the battlefield, it's a nightmare for players who rely on careful planning. It weaponizes your discard pile, allowing Scorch cards to be replayed from the junkyard. But its most insidious effect is on the task zone. Any task placed near it starts to crumble, losing 1 durability each round.
It's a clock, a constant grinding pressure that forces your opponent to act before they're ready. It even affects your bait cards, making them trigger automatically if adjacent zones are disturbed. It creates an environment of instability, where setting up long-term plans is almost impossible. The Huskspire destabilizes everything it touches.
So it's a direct counter to the Hammerspire's efficiency. One builds a perfect system, the other expertly dismantles it. It's a battle of endurance versus execution.
Next, we have the spire that wasn't built and didn't simply decay. It grew, like a tumor in reality.
The Mawspire of unmaking, the pillar of the Corrot. The description says it's made of twisted wire and sinew, part machine, part flesh, all horror. Its icon is a monstrous, spider-like sigil glowing with a sickly red-orange light. This feels like it's straight out of Spliker's twin-minded workshop or representative of Drillmeyer's invasive tunneling.
The lore calls it a wound-given shape, a glitch in the weave where monsters are whispered into being. This isn't just entropy like the Rustborn, this is active, predatory anti-creation. Its chosen tool is the drill, invasive, burrowing. It doesn't just break things, it penetrates and corrupts them from the inside out, hollowing them for its own grotesque purpose.
And its zone influence is pure, chaotic sabotage. It can cause your summons to gain aberrant mutation, randomly swapping their abilities with a card in the discard pile. It's wild, making your own creatures unpredictable.
And it's predatory. Bait cards placed near it trigger almost immediately. If a tool is destroyed in its influence, a toxic Scorch token is left in its place, poisoning the land. Even the conflict zone becomes more dangerous, causing enemies to lose extra stability when battling a Corrot Titan.
So it twists the very foundation of the board. It's uncontrollable. How do you even play against that?
You either match its chaos or you attempt to wall it off and purify the board. But the Mawspire's influence spreads. It's a constant threat that you can't ignore. It forces you to deal with it, pulling your attention away from your own strategy.
All right, we're halfway through the Spires, and things are getting intense. From the perfect order of the Titans to the decay of the Rustborn and the monstrous chaos of the Corrot. It's a lot to take in, but remember the core of the game always comes back to that simple 6-part rhythm.
Every Titan turn, draw, charge, building act, clash, end, 6 steps, infinite ways to forge your victory.
Okay, let's bring some balance back to the world. After the horror of the Mawspire, we need an antidote.
And we get it with the Heartspire of Verdancy, the pillar of the preservance. This one is beautiful. It's made of a smooth, polished stone, almost like marble, with crystalline vines embedded directly into it, glowing with soft green light. Where others seek dominion, the lore says, the Heartspire remembers harmony.
Its icon is a green sprout protected inside a diamond lattice. It's all about protecting life, shielding it with structure. You see this philosophy in Titans like Forgelian, who merges beast and stability. The chosen tool here is fascinating, the tape measure.
It makes perfect sense. A tape measure is a tool of understanding, not alteration. It respects form and space without harming it. It's about stewardship, not dominion. It's the philosophy of respecting the world as it is and protecting it.
And its battlefield influence is all about defense, resilience, and regrowth. Structures placed in its zone regenerate 1 durability per round. It's a haven for sustainability decks.
It's more than that. If a summon dies there, it returns to the top of your deck instead of the junkyard, ready to be reborn. It extends the power of your guild effects, making them last longer. And most importantly, any card receiving weave in its zone gains green weave purity, making it immune to being corrupted.
So it's a true sanctuary, a safe zone you can build within to resist the corrosive effects of the Huskspire or the mutations of the Mawspire. It creates a bastion of stability on an otherwise chaotic battlefield.
From the sanctuary of life, we move to the source of reality itself. The fifth spire is the Aetherspire of creation, the pillar of the Primordials.
This one is pure cosmic mystery. It's carved from black obsidian, and it doesn't glow. It has these rotating star glyphs etched into its surface, as if reflecting an unseen sky. The lore says it contains the first breath, the silent clock, the orbit before thought. This is the power of titans like Cronarch, who governs time, or Vakra, who commands the void.
Its chosen tool is the level. Another non-invasive tool, but this one isn't about measurement. It's about equilibrium, balance. It reveals an unseen truth, the fundamental force of gravity. The Aetherspire and the Primordials represent the foundational, unseen laws that govern the universe of tools and titans.
And its effect on the game is mind-bending. It introduces paradox and temporal mechanics. It can make tasks in its zone resolve in reverse order. Last played becomes first. It allows players to echo cast a tool from their previous turn, pulling an action from the past into the present.
The temporal effects are even deeper. Placing weave near it lets you temporarily choose 2 weave subtypes, bending the rules of elemental synergy. Even your charge tokens can be affected, allowing you to delay their effect for a round to double their impact. Time literally bends around the Aetherspire.
That sounds incredibly difficult to master. It requires foresight, memory, and a willingness to break from linear thinking.
It's a high skill cap strategy, for sure. It rewards players who can think 3 steps ahead and even 1 step behind. It reshuffles what's expected and turns the game into a temporal puzzle. And that brings us to our final spire, the one that questions the very nature of truth itself, the Echospire of Whispers, the pillar of the Mythborn.
The visuals for this are so cool. It's made of a world, smoky stone with a faint spectral glow like captured moonlight. Its icon is a spiral echo ring, like a ripple in reality, glowing silver blue. It's meant to feel elusive, dreamlike, the kind of magic wielded by Zinthari, the illusionist.
The lore is perfect. Even silence has a source. The Echospire hums with forgotten stories, spun in spirals of smoke and shimmering untruths. It's the spire of illusion, misdirection, and secrets, and its tool is the saw.
The saw still seems aggressive for an illusion faction.
But think about what a saw does. It splits one reality into 2. The 2 resulting pieces are separate, but they perfectly mirror each other. They are an echo of the original whole. That's the core of Mythborn mechanics, creating illusions, reflections, and echoes that disrupt your opponent's perception of what's real and what isn't.
And the zone effects reflect that perfectly. It's all about mind games. Allies placed in its zone are mirrored, creating a temporary illusionary copy with reduced stats. It clutters the board with phantoms. Cast cards can be returned to your hand disguised as a different type of card, like a bait card.
Even tools are affected. They are hidden from your opponent until you activate them, triggering surprise effects. And the most devious part is how it handles conflict. Damage dealt in its zone is illusionary at first. It's stored as echo tokens and then bursts all at once later on. Your opponent might think they're safe, only to be hit by a wave of delayed damage.
The battlefield becomes a riddle. Nothing is quite what it seems. It's a constant guessing game, where illusions have very real consequences. So there they are, the 6 spires, each one a world of strategy unto itself. The Hammerspire for the Titans, rewarding combo building and structured efficiency. The Huskspire for the Rustborn, a tool of entropy that applies relentless decay pressure, and the Mawspire for the Corrot, which mutates the board with unpredictable sabotage.
Then you have the other side of the coin, the Heartspire for the Preservance, creating a sanctuary of healing and defensive stability, the Aetherspire for the Primordials, bending the very rules of time and reality for those who can master it, and the Echospire for the Mythborn, turning the entire battlefield into a riddle of illusions and misdirection.
It's incredible how each one provides a completely asymmetric experience. They don't just give a simple +1 buff. They fundamentally change how you value the zones on the board and the very cards in your hand.
It's world building through mechanics, the story of Heroria, of its creation, its corruption, its balance, and its mysteries, isn't just in a lore book. It's right there on the table, built into the very ground you fight on. Each spire tells the story of its faction's soul.
And mastering them and how they play off each other is what separates a good player from a true Titan. It all comes down to knowing your trade and executing it, one move at a time.
In every match of Tools and Titans, your tradecraft unfolds in 6 simple moves: draw, charge, building, act, clash, and
Simplicity for the novice.
mastery for the Titan.